you.
I heard of you guys too.
I
Hi.
want,
Good
I want,
morning. Thank you so much for calling
yeah.
in.
All right.
Thank you.
All right.
What's on your mind this
Yeah,
morning?
what you got for us this morning? We got 4 minutes before the break, and then we can come back after if we need to. But what you got?
Well, what's on my mind is another holiday that's happening right now, which is Passover, um, and which I'm celebrating because I'm Jewish, and
Yes.
and Passover is supposed to be about freedom from oppression, and we're celebrating freedom from oppression as honestly most members of my community are still supporting an apartheid state called Israel. And I guess
Well, now you're walking through a minefield, right? You
I've
know that. You know that.
I've been
I'll just state that for you. You know you're walking through a minefield right now, right?
well, I have to do this because other people who say that get called anti-Semitic, and if
Yes.
people try to call me that, they look ridiculous because I'm celebrating Passover right now.
Yes.
So I have to say this. I have to be the one to say this.
I agree with you. I agree with you wholeheartedly. And I have said many times that Israel is a fascist state. It's a fascist state. But see, people have a problem in separating the Jewish faith and Jewish people from the state of Israel. Would you mind differentiating that for people?
I would love to. Yeah.
Please do. Please do.
Yeah. Before the Holocaust, the majority of Jewish people did not even support Zionism, which is the idea that Jews should have their own state because they wanted to stay where they were. Then, after the Holocaust, people got scared into supporting this, and they said, "Oh, we need our own state," and it's not part of the religion at all. Um, it never was. And Herzl, who started Zionism, was actually an atheist, and he saw Jews as an ethnicity, actually the same as the Nazis did. And Jews are not an ethnicity. You could have Jews of any ethnicity. Anybody could convert if they want to. And it's a political ideology that came up when ethnic nationalism was popular around the world, and it was another form of ethnic nationalism. And it's not equal rights. And
let me ask you a question, Mr. Katz.
Yep.
And I hope that this is the beginning of what is colloquially called a beautiful friendship.
All right.
Are you familiar with a book called The Transfer Agreement?
I know what the transfer agreement is. Yeah.
Okay. What do you think it's credible?
Oh yeah. It's well documented that it was official Nazi policy before World War II started to transfer Jews to the Middle East because the original anti-Semitism, the word anti-Semitism comes from people who called themselves the Anti-Semitic League in the 1800s. And their ideology was that Jews don't belong in Europe, that they need to go back to the Middle East. And we got to get them out of here.
But didn't some people in the Jewish faith support that perspective?
Yes, and that's what's so ironic about it. In a way, you could say Zionism was the official policy of Nazi Germany up until the war. And so even if they hated the Jews, what the Nazis and the Zionists both had in common was they both wanted a segregated world.
Well, let me go to this point, Mr. Katz, and I really do hope you'll call back because you're a wealth of knowledge. But what I want to know from you, as succinctly as you can, what do you think Benjamin Netanyahu's end game is at this point?
I think his end game, like most politicians, is to remain in power personally. I think he does believe in the ideology of Zionism, but he's also an ambitious politician who just wants to stay in power. So now he's gone even further than he did originally to try to put this right-wing coalition together, and he's appeasing just people who were even crazier than him.
significant Israeli opposition to what he's proposing.
Oh, yeah.
Where is that coming from?
Hey, y'all, just a second. We're going to have to go to break, so y'all hold that thought, and we'll be right back after this. Stay tuned to the Morning Grind on KAZI.
Please hold on,
7
sir.
FM, okay?
All right.
Bringing it to you, the Morning Drive on 88.7 FM, KAZI. Your number one music station. KAZI 88.7 on your FM dial.
He ordered a meal. Do fish like cheeseburgers? Kids ask a lot of questions. Am I safe when you drive?
When they ask about something as serious as their safety, you need the right answers. Nearly 60% of our children are not buckled up correctly. Make sure your child is and is in the right size car seat. Visit SaveMeWithASeat.org for information on correct car seat use and guidance on choosing the right seat for your child.
Save me with a seat.
A message from TxDOT.
Roots Rock Reggae. Reggae Tuesdays. Every Tuesday night from 7 to 10 p.m.
The Morning Drive. Get ready. It's a new day. Let's go.
And we're back, and we do have a caller on the line. Go ahead, Mr. Katz, if you can pick up your thought where you left it off.
Yeah, you were talking about how many Israelis are turning against Netanyahu.
Yes.
And what's happening is now he's threatening their rights. And these people, for the most part, are Zionists, which means they don't care about the rights of Palestinians.
Right.
Or they believe the rights of Palestinians are less than their own. But now that their own rights are being threatened, now they're in the streets protesting.
Right. Thank you for differentiating that. And that's something that's very, very, very poorly understood among the general population in this country. What is actually going on in Israel?
Well, there's some good news. The last time I called in was right before South by Southwest, when I was letting people know I was going out on the street every day that week with a sign that said, "I'm Jewish and I don't support Israel. Please ask me why." And honestly, I thought I was going to have a lot of angry people. The whole week, there was only one person who really got angry. I couldn't believe how many people were in agreement. I got a lot of thumbs up, and I got a lot of people who came up and said, "Why?" And I said, they thought it was going to be a long conversation. I said, because religious discrimination is wrong. And they said, well, I agree with you.
Well, I was listening the morning you called, and I said to myself, I ought to go down there and at least talk to the gentleman. But I'm basically lazy, so I didn't come.
You're not lazy.
Well, we're talking now, so that's all right.
Yeah.
But I think you and I will have a conversation face to face. Maybe, hopefully, one day, maybe you come here and share some of your knowledge.
I would love to do that. That'd be great.
Stacie's nodding, so that means it's okay.
Hey, you coming to the Blues Jam? Don't say the name. I'll see you tonight.
Well, I'm out of town right now for Passover, but I'll be back in a couple of weeks.
Well, if you would, please contact Stacie at her email. If you would give your email.
Or you can just call me.
She's inviting you to call.
Yep.
All right.
And I wish you would come on a Monday.
I would love to.
There it is.
That'd be great.
There it is. So we'll talk more and we'll firm up a Monday date.
All right.
There it is.
Thank you very much.
Done and done.
Thank you for calling back.
Thank you.
You're always welcome.
Thanks a lot.
All right.
Great talking.
Oh, and also, you don't necessarily have to come in. We can have you as a guest by phone if it's more convenient.
All right. We'll work it out.
We'll talk about it.
We'll work it out.
We'll talk soon. And thank you so much.
Thank you
so much for your call this morning. Thank you for the information, and we'll talk soon, okay?
All right. Thanks for having me on.
Of course.
All right. Have a good one.